it's just me, but whenever I see an Asian kid cosplaying an Asian character, like walking around in a kimono or dressed as a samurai, I always think it's cheating. I say that because you can get away with it. Just say you're from a conservative family. We'll give it to you. It's expected. My parents are straight from Japan. We don't believe in cultural assimilation. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. What about the Industrial Revolution? You remember not having that? Asian kid dressing like an Asian character. You're doing something wrong. You gotta dress up like what you can't normally get away with. Which is why I like going to conventions dressed like a cop. And then leaving the convention. To ensue hilarity. But if an Asian kid is walking around wearing a kimono, it looks like they raided their grandmother's closet. And that's not cool. It's not edgy. It's only cool and edgy if I raid your grandmother's closet! Therefore, Asian kid, if you want to look hardcore to me, next year's Castle Point, I want to see you dressing as my grandmother! I want you wearing a boo-boo! I want lipstick smeared all over your teeth! You better be carrying a pot roast! Then I will no care. Probably the weirdest thing I ever saw with cosplay came from Japan, of course, because they make Germany look normal. They're an isolated culture that has no word for hobby. It's not going to end well. So a guy was standing with one of my favorite cosplayers, Suzumiya Haruhi. Anyone who knows me knows I have a huge nerd boner for the melancholy of Suzumiya Haruhi.
We never came! We never came!
Oh, what are you doing? She's up there.
Oh my gosh, hi!
So, guy had a Suzumiya Haruhi cosplayer. I'm like, I'm gonna see where this video is going. So he has the cosplayer lie down on this sheet of plastic. I don't really know where it's going anyway. Takes another sheet of plastic and he puts it right over it. Then he seals the edges and he sucks out the air between the two sheets of plastic, thus nailing her together. And he cuts a little hole opening for her mouth. We're gonna step back. And I'm going to put this in retrospect. He is shrink wrapping a human being. He is laminating a cosplayer. In your mind, that's perverted. In his mind, limited edition. But he's doing it so fast. That means he's gotten a lot of practice. He's starting a collection. There is no easy way to introduce sane human beings to your collection of laminated cosplayers. See what I got upstairs in my room? I got all the classics. I got the Major from Ghost in the Shell. I got Sakura from Naruto and Shippuden. I got Rei from Evangelion. Are you collecting what is that, Tim Burton? That looks like the Corpse Bride. That was the Princess Bride last Monday. I gotta clean these out. Yeah, that's not Swamp Thing. That used to be Trixie from Speed Racer. Oh, Japan. Womp womp. I gotta say the most heartwarming thing that ever happened in cosplay. I was hosting a panel and I had two friends of mine. I met them officially here at Castle Point. I'm sitting right up there. Right as I was beginning my old closer Pokemon Sex Offenders. And they always cosplay as a couple, so they always come on as Millie and Snake, or they come as Jessie and Jake from Team Rocket. And they call their little meow their baby, which was so sweet. So they come up and they kind of help me host a panel. And just as a gag, I turn to the guy who's dressing as James and say, you guys have been trying to capture Pikachu for 15 years. Like, when are you really going to buckle down and commit to something? Unbeknownst to me, he pulls out a Pokeball, which is Team Rocket is expected, goes over to Jessie, drops. Lisa's about to faint. This may be too intense for some of you. It's very nerdy, actually. So he opens it up, and inside is a rock type. And the attack was super effective. Jessie fainted. Best moment of the convention. Best moment. Better part about that, I just made that up. dumbasses. It makes me wonder what kind of marriage I would want to do. I would want to do, the nerd in me tells me to do a Star Wars wedding. But I would want to test it out with like other friends' marriage or like my parents' wedding. Which I understand is difficult because it happened like 30 years ago. So I would want to treat their wedding like George Lucas treats the original Star Wars movies. Every couple of years I want to re-release the DVD of the wedding, maybe put in some extended scenes, add some new music, CGI relatives that haven't been born yet. My mom lifts her veil, it's Hayden Christensen. Yeah, my father hates that joke. I'd want to do a Fantastic Four themed wedding. That would be fun. The bride is invisible, so the groom is free. And if anyone objects, they can be clobbered or set on fire. That would work just fine for me. I gotta talk about video games. This is every video game you have ever played from your television's perspective. Video games are tremendously violent nowadays. We can't hold it off, we can't deny it any longer. Dante's Inferno. You begin the game in hell, slaughtering the spirits of unbaptized babies with a scythe that's made from a spinal cord and a pelvis, and blood is everywhere. Isn't it great? Video games make me violent. Really, Mom? I'll stop strangling you when you return the Wii. Let's compromise. Playing video games doesn't make me violent. Taking away my video games makes me violent. But video games have never given us role models, okay? The original Mario. Let's be honest now. This is an Italian plumber who has sacrificed his career to smash his head against bricks. For money. And he pops every poisonous mushroom that comes his way running after him. So he feels like a big man. So that's head injury and drug-induced delirium. And not only that, but is Mario really a good guy? Doesn't he waltz into a dinosaur's castle just to burn it down? By the second or third one, he must have caught on. The lava pits and the ghost are to keep him out! It's to protect the people inside while he's running around stomping on turtles' heads, throwing them to their doom, clipping their wings, not to mention what he did to Yoshi. He put on a saddle and rides him around and forces him to eat his dinosaur brethren. That is slavery and cannibalism. You can't even do that in Grand Theft Auto! There's not even a cheat code for that! Those are such bad no-nos, they're not even in the Ten Commandments! Because God figured they're never gonna try that, and Japan has made millions marketing this to children. Thanks, Japan. Just imagine Mario's on that second, third castle. He realizes he's not gonna find the princess. Just keeps on walking. And eventually he approaches the castle and everyone is caught on what's going to happen. The Goombas are throwing themselves in front of him. Please! God's sakes! Don't kill us! Please! I swear! Your princess isn't here! I swear she's in another castle! I know! Fire flower, bitches! That's the joys of Mario. All for the kiss of a princess. Aww. I'd like to think that Grand Theft Auto is up the bar. You get to hook up with a hooker. Then you can kill her. You can kill her, sell her car to run down cops. Kiss from a princess. Hook up with a hooker. You know what this gap is after 30 years of playing video games? Progress. That's progress, my friends.